Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of Hilaal Live. My name is Luqmaan Shadrach, all the way from the Cape Town studios. Thanks for joining us on channel 347 and on our live stream, www.hilal.tv. For today's session, we are going to be opening up the WhatsApp line, so you're welcome to message us and let us know what your thoughts are with regards to today's topic. Now, today we dive in headfirst into a topic that's as controversial as it is captivating. We're breaking free from the chains of our past, not just our own, but those of our mothers and grandmothers. Now, imagine unburdening yourself from ancestral trauma, past relationship woes, and the dark shadows of abuse to step into a life you've only dared to dream of. Now, sounds like a tall order. Well, not for our next guest, and I'm going to introduce very shortly, but on a special mention as well. The following show and topic could be of a sensitive nature, and it is designed for more adult interaction as well, inshallah. Our guest, Fadwa Booley, who's here to shake up everything you thought you knew about healing and personal transformation. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Thanks for joining us. It's a very interesting topic that we diving into today, but I think it's also a necessary one where over the past couple of months, we've sort of touched on various aspects of our life that we haven't dealt with, and we know the impact of that not dealing with those traumas, and we've touched on it very briefly, but you're offering a journey to liberate our viewers from the ex's past and for a lack of better words, ancestral baggage. Take us through this journey and tell us a bit more.
Okay, so in October last year, I was inspired to do this specific topic as a workshop, right? And I saw myself doing a talk like to many women. And I also knew what I was supposed to do was a more collective healing, structured in an environment where everybody gets to heal at the same time. Sunday passed, I did it.
Okay.
And alhamdulillah, I had 43 women attend this workshop.
Nice.
And the feedback I got was amazing. Now, what I did was, I took them on the journey inside their womb. I took them on a journey inside their life. And what the workshop was almost like, it was called the womb healing, right? Workshop, womb cleansing workshop. But it's a time to let go.
Okay.
Now this year is the time to let go. This year is the year of truth. It's a year of choosing what you want for yourself.
Okay.
So if you want to hold on to the past and hold on to all the traumas, whether it is your own, whether it is ancestral traumas, because we don't realize when it's ours, when it's our mothers, when it's our grandmother's stuff.
Gotcha.
Our mothers carried the egg. Our grandmothers developed the egg that our mothers carried that we were born from.
Right.
So all the DNA that our grandmothers felt and emotional stuff that they felt, we feeling it in our DNA today as women. So we're going back with whether our grandmothers suffered anxiety or whether they suffered depression, whether they suffered whatever traumas, we're breaking that generational curses. And I've done a lot of research on this topic, and it's always something that I look at our patterns. I look at my patterns, my mother's patterns, my grandmother's patterns, and I always said, like, I will not be that. I would want to help others heal that, because I saw my grandmother in a state where her nervous system couldn't handle certain things. And I think on a subconscious level, I went out to go learn as much as I could to help other people not go down the route that my grandmother was. And alhamdulillah, on Sunday was really an epiphany for me, because when I got the feedback, I sat with tears in my eyes reading each testimony that came through. And the feedback was like, Fadwa, you've changed my life, you've helped me heal, and the journey I'm on with you. And it's like, did I really do that for so many others? So what I'm urging the listeners, the viewers to do out there is look at what you're struggling with. Is it the past of the ghost of past, whether it's relationships? What I brought up in the topic on Sunday was sometimes people made mistakes. And I'm going to use my therapy room as an example of what comes into my therapy room. I've had ladies come there, cry their eyes out after years, maybe 20, 30, 40 years later, and they said, at a specific age, I had an abortion. Or I had to get married. And I was keeping myself for my husband, and I was either molested or raped.
Sure.
Right? And they're carrying that trauma with them. And I have to sit and listen, and I have to sit poker face. But when they leave, I used to bawl my eyes out because I'm feeling their pain. As an empath, you feel their pain. And I had to hear about the husbands that they love so much was out having affairs. And they come home with that energy. So you must remember, if you are intimate with someone, you carry all the energy from all that people. And that is why in this world we live in today, there's such a lot of bipolar and there's such a lot of depression. Because we're carrying energies of other people that we're not aware of and we think it's our own stuff.
Right.
So I always tell the youngsters that come, no, we're just friends and we're friends with benefits. And I bring the Quran and I explain from the Quran perspective how haram that is. And secondly, from an energy perspective, I say you're carrying that stuff and this gives entities permission to basically possess your body because you're doing haram. And now they've got a way in. And this is how people become possessed for the energy stuff. So it's a healing on so many dimensions. And the education of this healing is so important because the world has become crazy on one level where people just think that it's okay.
It's a quick fix.
Yes, it's a quick fix to traumas and regulating the nervous systems, whereas down the line it's going to impact you negatively. And my whole, this movement I want to run is cleanse what you don't need. Let go of what you don't need. You're on a journey to let go. We humans, we are balancing between letting go and holding on and becoming the best version of ourselves.
Of course.
You know?
It's a process that most people would need to self-analyze, would need to go through those difficult steps, those difficult questions in order for them to, transcend to the next healing process or the healing step. That journey must be really soul-searching.
It is, because what our conscious mind and our egos will prevent pain at any cost.
Right.
Do you want to revisit pain where you were in a space like a ball laying on the floor on your bed and you were in heart-wrenching pain? Do you want to revisit that?
Yeah, definitely not.
Exactly. So in order to heal something, you need to understand it. And in order to sometimes heal something, especially addiction, you need to go revisit the pain to get a different perspective of that pain. So the pain is the thing that we're avoiding.
Of course.
And in that case of pain, what we do is we find different ways to regulate the nervous system. This is how addiction starts. I touched on addiction in many other episodes. And this is what I'm trying to help and heal people with. It's like, what is your fix? What's your quick fix? What's the fix for that dopamine? So with the womb as well, is the dopamine fix is when they are sleeping, being promiscuous, out there, having that quick fix of living in haram, and then the remorse that comes afterwards and the guilt that comes afterwards. But when the nervous system needs to be regulated, they're going to look for the quick fix again. And
I get you.
So it becomes a vicious cycle, but on a different level. So a woman, we carry all the energy of every person that we've ever been with. So now that energy is in our bodies. Then you come down to the Quran and then you see why Allah has put Ida in place, why certain measures are put in place, because of the cleansing that our bodies need to do to get rid of energies.
Gotcha. You're welcome to join us at the WhatsApp line, 079 085 2511. Let us know your thoughts about today's topic, 079 085 2511. Very important topic. We'd like to know your thoughts. Maybe you have a question for Fadwa that we'd like to pose to her while she's here in studio. Fadwa, now, you're venturing into a very, tapered waters. What's the word I'm looking for? Of unprocessed emotions and traumas, armed with nothing but kinesiology, EFT, and guided meditation. What's the most common encounter that you've had, and how do you help people conquer this type of emotions and issues that they deal with now? The words I was looking for, uncharted waters, with regards to this, from someone that doesn't know how to deal with it. You have the tools.
Yes.
So how do you guide them down this?
So the first thing I do is take them out of the flight response. I use neural organization technique. I take them out of the fight response first.
Yeah.
Then I look at the spiritual aspect of things, right? If you are spiritually affected, how are you spiritually affected, and if that needs to be cleansed first.
Okay.
Now, we'll check what is the reason. So your body's going to tell me what's priority. While you're talking to me, I'm already making notes.
Right.
Because I'm an active listener in my rooms. I make notes of what we're going to deal with. Then your body will indicate, out of the notes that I've made, which one is priority. So priority will clear up everything.
Okay.
So I'm going to use an example. I had a 65-year-old lady in my room a few months ago, and she was in a traumatic state. She said, like, she keeps on getting these memories of when she was about 25 years old. She had 2 kids at the time already, and she fell pregnant, and she was not coping. And what she did was, without her husband's knowledge, she had an abortion. And she's at 65 years old, and she's that trauma is, and that act that she did is still killing her internally. And she says she's living with this guilt, and this is what shaitan needs, guilt and shame. And I had to explain it from a perspective of that is between you and Allah, and it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't written. By the time she left there and we cleared it out of her body energetically and from a kinesiology point of view, gave her body a better neurological option to cope, that woman is back to normal. She's no longer carrying that weight of the world, of a secret. You know?
We're going to pause it right there. We're going to come back, and I'd like you to, to expand on that, because it's very fascinating. We're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we'd like you to be part of the show. 079-085-2511. That's the all-important WhatsApp number. Let us know your thoughts around today's topic. We're chatting to Fadwa Booley, who's giving us the tools on how to deal with certain issues, challenges, traumas that we are still carrying with us today. So do join us after the break. You're still watching Hilaal Live. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure having you in our company on channel 347. The WhatsApp line's open for this topic, 079-085-2511. We're chatting to Fadwa Booley around certain traumas, issues that we haven't dealt with in our life. And before the break, Fadwa, I stopped you briefly about unprocessed emotions and traumas. And you have the tools of kinesiology and EFT and guided meditation to teach people, to show people how to deal with these traumas that's still affecting them to date. And I've got some lovely testimonials that I'm going to read out a bit later. But if you're going to continue the point, I stopped briefly before the break. Maybe if you want to expand on that.
Yes. So all unprocessed emotions that happen in the body turns into illnesses. It turns into things that your body's trying to get rid of. So I always tell people, now that you're on a healing journey, don't go look for stuff to heal.
Oh, yeah, that's also true.
This whole new thing, I'm healing. When they say, oh, I'm not traumas, I'm like, stop already, stop.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a new thing that they're jumping onto.
Do you find that, people put themselves in this pity party?
Yes. Okay. And I always say this question, I ask this question, so do you want to remain the victim? Or your situation is there for you to make you wise. So do you want to be wise, or do you want to be wounded? You choose. So what do people do? They go back in the past. If only this happened. So if the word if is there, you're opening for shaitan to come control your life. The word if. Because Allah's already written your entire life. Your entire life is written. The fact that I'm sitting here today is written for me to sit and educate. Because where Allah has chosen me, gave me the intellect, He's saying, I need her to help heal on earth. So I'm placing Fadwa in this moment, at that time, on TV. So my life is written. So when people say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, I'm only following what Allah has written.
Sure.
So when it comes to that, and the people are in that, oh, my trauma, and the Safer says, my depression and my trauma and my this, you're owning it. Why are you owning something that is not even yours, that you were born with?
But I also want to touch on a very important point. In that process, people around you are affected by what you are putting out there.
Yes.
And what you are giving off to the world, because surely they're going to treat you differently.
Yes.
If they hear it too often.
Yes.
And if you haven't dealt with it.
And they'll start avoiding you.
As well.
Yes, because once is fine. Twice is, eventually it just comes like, it's too much now.
Right.
So when they start going on a loop and they start talking about the same thing over and over, that means it's unhealed and unprocessed emotions. So when people say, oh, you're beating on the same drum, or yes, again, you're talking about something, it's because that is not healed. And if you're not going to take responsibility of your action, you're playing it, then how do you expect it to heal? So it's easy for somebody to throw shade, but it's not. They don't normally take responsibility, then why throwing the shade?
You see, I can see you've got teenagers, because that word's such a teenage word.
Oh, is it shade?
Throwing shade.
Throwing shade.
But I want to touch on some of the messages you've received after that workshop, and I think it's very powerful and very uplifting to hear this as well. It says, Assalamu alaikum Fadwa. This is the first one. I would like to give my testimonial for the first workshop I attended yesterday, subhanallah. That's all I have to say, because I'm not a workshop person at all, but you have completely changed my perception. From the moment I walked in, I felt this is where I needed to be. Allah has a message for me. Beautiful. And then one more that's come through. It says, if I can just get back to my screen. Okay, I'm technology challenged.
I see
Sometimes
so.
I'll get it's not behaving at the moment. I'll get back to it.
Mm.
But these are lovely words that have come through from. Okay, there's one says, "Salam Fadwa, shukran for an amazing workshop. I'm on a journey of letting go. Usually I squiz through Facebook aimlessly, but your workshop post caught my eye, and I saw it as as a sign from the Almighty. The cleaning segment was hard and gut wrenching, and I'm sure a lot go through that, but it was much needed. Alhamdulillah. When you see testimonials like this, okay, is it a tap on the shoulder to say, I've made a difference, I've left a legacy, or is it to say the work has just begun?
The work has just begun, but I do tap myself on the shoulder, but I remind myself to remain humble. Because the minute I'm going to take that on and say, I did the work, I didn't do the work, Allah did the work.
Right.
If I'm going to say, I did that work or I made that changes, then shaitan is going to have hold of me. The ego is going to take over, and then I'm going to lose the battle of why Allah's put me on earth. It happened to me in 2012. Trust me, it happened.
Right.
So
you've been down this journey.
I've been down the journey when I thought that I'm the healer.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'm not the healer, I'm only
God complex, they
the
say.
vessel, right? Allah's working through me. So whether I'm having a workshop, whether I'm in my therapy room, whether I'm doing a spiritual cleanse on somebody, I'm not doing the work. Allah's guiding me what to do. And that is why it's important to strengthen your intuition, because when your intuition is strong, Allah communicates to us via intuition. You know?
Okay,
So,
very important. On the WhatsApp line, 07908525511. Now, Fadwa, you talk about cleansing the womb and its surrounding energy fields from negative imprints. Now, for the skeptics, and let's face it, you must get a lot of this out there, who might think that you're dancing on the edge of maybe new age terminology. Can you give us, in layman's terms, okay, of how these techniques actually work?
So the techniques work, I always tell them, like before even we start the class, I will put them into a deep stated meditation where you're going to connect with Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I said, now you connect with your creator and you make an intention what you would like to get out of this workshop. So the intention already starts before. Before we start, I'm already reciting in the room, I'm cleansing out the energies of the room, and then I allow the process to take place. Near the end of the workshop, I now take them through the guided meditation where they're going to totally relax the body. So I would say I would use part hypnosis, part guided meditation, because I'm getting the bodies to relax. My voice will relax them. They will go in, and now they go inside the body. So I've done this. It's the one of the techniques I use is from Brandon Bays. She does the journey, where you go inside the body and now you can see. So everything is via imagination. And I always tell this to clients or workshop attendees, you can't imagine anything if Allah hasn't allowed you to imagine it. So already we've handed over to Allah. We're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the healing. So when that is taking place, I believe, this is my belief now, that Allah is taken over. So borderlining new age stuff, maybe, because yes, I've learned it from authors other than people from an Islamic nature,
Gotcha.
yes. But I use it according to the Sunnah and the Quran, and I incorporate what we know from the Quran to keep us safe in that manner. And the healing will only take place if you're ready for the healing and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows the healing to take place.
Also important. So let's get personal for a moment,
Okay.
right? Now, you aim to set people free from their traumas.
Yes.
That's a bold statement, okay? Including the dark realm of one of the things you mentioned was sexual abuse, which we all too often find people have not dealt with that. How do you navigate the delicate balance between offering healing and ensuring you're not opening wounds? That's something I'm interested in, without professional psychological support.
In that case, I will, if they can remember the situation, most of them are willing to talk about it. Some of them are not, because some of them don't remember, but they know something happened to them. If they are
the body
ready,
shutting down,
the body shutting down, they went into flight response, they went into avoidance. Right? And that's a safety mechanism. So they disassociate. Whatever happened, they disassociate with it because that kept them safe. So they don't want to. I had a case where the woman remembered at the age of 40 years old that a teacher molested her. And the flashback came because she said it happened. I was alone. I was washing my hands at the basin. in the art class, and then she said, could it have been, and the memory surfaced. And I had to hold the space through that. And then she realized why her daddy became so protective, because I think her parents probably knew about it. But some parents, they know about the abuse, but they're too scared because they're worried what people is going to say, or society,
pressure,
and they're also worried how they're going to ostracize the child. So in some cases, it's family members, sometimes it's grandparents, sometimes it's siblings, the parents' siblings, and then they keep quiet about it.
Correct. Because of dependency issues and all of that,
yes.
We do
And
know.
what happens is the children sometimes feeling grown up years that my parents knew they didn't stand up for me, they didn't protect me. And it's a fine line, and I have to take them through that. And then once they understand it from a different perspective, now the healing starts.
Yeah, in fact, to that point, while we're on that topic, I think there's a new bill or law that's been passed in terms of the stature of time that people are allowed to actually lay
Oh, is it?
cases, complaints with
Okay.
regards to abuse and things like that. So in fact, there was a case recently in the news that people were molested in the 80s already, and it came to light now.
Yeah.
It was taken seriously,
Yes.
and the perpetrator brought to justice. In closing, last couple of minutes, what can you leave our viewers with?
That when you're ready, it's going to pop up. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? Don't go dig. Don't look for stuff that's not there. Allow it to surface, and then you will get the intuition within yourself to make contact with whomever you feel Allah is going to guide you towards your healing. Just make niyyah for that. And once that happens, it will fall into place. Because it is a big topic. It is a very sensitive topic. But the more you're going to cleanse, the more close you're going to get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you remember that underneath a broken heart is your authentic self. And you first need to get through the broken heart to get to the heart that loves and heals and just can nurture.
Finding themselves.
Absolutely.
Finding your true self, yeah.
Because we're not broken, we don't need healing, but we are hurt. I mean, we don't need fixing, but we are hurt, we need healing.
Yeah,
so a broken heart is caused that it causes trauma to a lot of others. So get past the broken heart so that we can love authentically and love wholeheartedly.
I like that. They say in Cape Town, Oppo Jik.
That's it.
Fadwa, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure having you in studio. For those that would like to connect, would like to, I like the outfit, by the way. I believe it's from your opulence range.
Yes. I'm launching it Easter weekend, inshallah.
Nice.
This is the new Eid range, abayas.
We're going to use it as a green screen in studio.
Okay. Yeah. You're so horrible, but okay, I'll let it
But
slide.
in a good way.
In a good way, right? So inshallah, Easter weekend, I'll be launching it.
Okay.
New stuff for us, pure online and pop-ups.
Okay.
So they must just follow Opulence. Opulence Africa.
From strength to strength.
Inshallah, I mean, so it's all pure raw silk.
Nice.
And all silk is only silk. So inshallah, it's the statement pieces that we can wear for Eid, for weddings, for engagements, for a statement piece that you can have.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Perfect time. Eid's coming up.
Yes.
People need to shop.
Inshallah.
Have a good one. Assalamu alaikum.
You too. Alaikum salam.
And that's how we end our session with Fadwa Booley. Do stay tuned as we take a break, and we break for Maghrib Salah from Makkah. When we come back, we speak to MJ Lee and the Kung Fu master on the 2nd annual Youth Kung Fu Championship held right here in Cape Town. You are still watching Hilaal Live.